when it comes to this stuff, right? But yeah, I'm trying to think outside of the community kind of stuff. What else with the business would you say has been like a total learning experience?
Everything's a learning experience.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you're not learning something every day, you're not doing it right.
Okay.
But I think the biggest thing for business is customer interaction.
Okay.
Like you have to have that knowledge and skill on how to do it.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to do it, you're never going to succeed, right? Like
Yeah.
going back to the whole trust thing. You know, if they don't trust you from day one, it's never going to work.
Yeah.
Another thing I push on when I'm, with clients or potential clients is I'm always pushing on the trust factor.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why I have my truck wrapped. It's not so everyone sees me. It's not, it was when I first started it for advertising to get out there.
Yeah.
But it all comes back to trust. Am I going to show up and steal your money with my truck wrapped and you know where I am?
Yeah.
I have a lot of people. Do you live on? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows where I live. There's no hiding.
Yeah.
People see me at Starbucks having meetings and
Yeah, man.
like it's, when we're out there meeting with other businesses or business owners or having meetings to kind of push ourselves further, everybody knows where we are and what we're doing.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
It does suck sometimes because you can't get away.
Yeah.
But that's the big trust factor. And all the guys, I would say 9 out of 10 guys that we have a wrapped truck.
Yeah.
So when you have someone come in your house, you have the painters on site, like the trucks are wrapped.
Yeah.
You see who's there, you know what's being done, and you know who's doing it.
Well, and that's the thing too, as a general contracting company, right? And you're looking for other trades that are potentially able to come in. Would you say one of the things that you're evaluating these guys on, right, outside of maybe the referral or word of mouth that you heard them from,
Appearance.
is their appearance, how they show up when they meet you for the first time? Or is their truck wrapped? Or are they outside of their van just hacking cigarettes before they go into a customer's house?
Yeah.
Like, I can only imagine to you as a general contractor bringing guys in on your sites, on your projects. Can you talk about maybe a little bit like how important all of these things are to you when you're evaluating who are we going to trust to be on our jobs?
Appearance is huge for me, right?
Okay.
Like you say, smoking, I understand that's an addiction. Just keep it away from the job site, right? We have a lot of people with sensitivities. They don't want to smell the cigarettes. They don't want cigarette butts flicked all over their yard. We do a lot of meetings with insurance companies, and believe it or not, that's a huge, huge fault is cigarette butts.
Oh.
If they come on site and you're there and there's cigarette butts on the job site,
Yeah.
you're gone.
Huh.
And that's the same for me.
Yeah.
Right. I kind of pick up the same thing. If you're going to smoke, I have no problem with you smoking.
Yeah.
Smoke at the truck, throw the butt in the back of your truck.
Yeah, that's it.
Whatever you got to do. Cleanliness is huge for me.
Yeah.
So I pay my guys an hour every single day to clean. I don't care if we're mopping the floor that we're ripping up tomorrow.
Nice.
We're mopping it.
Yeah.
I don't care if, we're ripping out the wall, we're cleaning the wall.
Yeah.
So every day the customer comes home, or if they're there and they come upstairs, it's like we weren't there today.
Yeah.
And that's huge. And that's likely my biggest compliment is cleanliness. And
Very nice.
Probably the biggest hate from the social gathering.
Yeah.
But I don't worry about that too much. But when clients come upstairs, or half of them are living in the house too, right?
Yeah.
So you don't want to be living with drywall dust everywhere. So
No,
we've
of
implemented
course.
these dustless sanders, and
Yeah.
it leaves very little dust, and we just vacuum up what's done after that.
Yeah.
So cleanliness is huge. Appearance,
Yeah.
how you act,
Yeah.
language,
Yeah.
like everything's a huge factor. Clients are in the house, they don't want
That's
to hear,
right.
F this, F that, this sucks, I hate
No.
my job, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear that. So everyone that we're together with is a very positive group. We
Good.
all like to have fun. We all get along, and I vet these guys through and through. Through and through. Like I have meetings with them. I don't just bring a new guy on a job site and meet them there. No, I will take them out for a meeting. We'll have lunch. We'll sit down, have a coffee, whatever it is, and I'll kind of get their story. And I can tell, like
Good.
I said, in the first 10 seconds,
Right away.
if this guy is good or not.
Nice.
And it all goes back to experience. Also good having the networking of the other local contractors. I can reach out to them and say, hey, listen, this guy's not working out. Do you have a guy? Oh, yeah, this guy's awesome. Call him. So I'll give him a ring.
Yeah.
Same thing. I'll meet with them. 9 times out of 10, they'll be a pretty good guy. So it's good. It's good to have that network of other contractors. And it's also hard to get because it's almost like a competition. But I don't play business as a competition. There's
No.
plenty of food on the table.
Exactly,
If we can all
man.
work together,
That's
if I'm
it.
in a pinch, if I can call you and you can tell me,
Yeah.
this is how I've done this before, I've
That's
run into
right.
this issue already.
Yeah.
What's the point of me learning something that someone else has already learned?
Yeah.
So I could cut 10 steps out of the equation if I just make a phone call and they can tell
man.
me exactly how to figure it out.
Well, exactly, right? And I think that goes in itself too to sort of how you grow a business, right? When you look at all of those things that you're doing to pick and choose your guys, to understand that you're not just bringing anybody in on your job sites, goes to speak to like quality of what you're doing. And then when we think about a small business like we have, right? One of the things that are constantly on my mind, at least, is, well, how do we get to the next step? What are we doing to grow revenue? How do we grow revenue? How do we grow our business by doing the same things over and over again? Or what I'm learning is that in order to go to sort of the next phase in business, you got to sort of remove yourself from how you were thinking and start thinking more in terms of like, how do I create a process around hiring the right guys? How do I create a process around managing multiple job sites at a time? How do I create the process for somebody to come in and do exactly what I'm doing and now be able for me to step out of the picture and them to be able to do all of it with the roadmap that I'm going to give them, right?
You got to find the right guys.
You got to find the right guys.
They're out there. You just have to search for them, right?
And that's it, right? And and it doesn't matter which industry, but every industry, you're going to have that same sort of challenge. It's tough to find good workers, but they are out there, and it is finding them, and it is having those processes in place to lure them in. And, one thing I can tell contractors that I constantly tell them is one of the best ways for you to constantly just, not even if you're hiring right then that month or 6 months down the line, but is to create something like a careers page on your website. And on your website, constantly have people or a place where people can actually go and apply for different kinds of positions within your company. Now, what you end up doing is you build a database of guys. So when you do need to go through and find a new guy to hire, you've already actually accumulated some really good guys over the last 6 months. And in your off time, all you're really doing on a Saturday night watching the hockey game is on commercial or going through resumes on your laptop.
You're going to set that up for me, right?
I'm definitely going to set that up for you, right? And using the tools and stuff like that we talk about, like your trucks being branded, your shirts and uniforms that you guys have showing up to jobs. How important would you say is like your online presence and like your website into that mix as well?
Well, we get 98% of our jobs from our website and from social. Everything's online.
Yeah.
Everything. They're going to see it. They see the guys showing up. They're in uniform.
Yeah.
They're clean cut.
Yeah.
They're happy. They're not miserable. They're not spitting on the front lawn.
Yeah.
Throwing cigarette butts everywhere.
Yeah.
Everything you see online is spoken for.
Yeah.
You can't take it down.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
That's my biggest thing is you have to be happy.
Yeah.
Right? If you're not happy and you show up on site, your guys aren't happy.
Yeah.
Then if they're not happy, nothing's getting done.
Yeah.
So sometimes I consider myself like a counselor.
Okay.
You get these calls and everyone's all up in arms and, oh, this is wrong, that's wrong.
Yeah.
You just got to calm them down and figure out what can we do. And that's my next question is what can we do?
Nice.
And how can we fix this? So pushing that solutions, not problems onto them has actually helped. Because now when I get a phone call from our foreman, it's, this is what's happening. This is what I think we should do to fix it.
That's
Beautiful.
awesome.
Beautiful. If that involves a change order, that's when I come on site.
Yeah.
We look at it. If I can soak up the cost, I will.
Yeah.
If I can't, if it's something, astronomical that needs done, that's when we bring the homeowners up. This is what we need to do. And we just go for.
That's it, man. And so I just want to circle back to one of the things you were saying. So a lot of your business you were saying is what you see, what you get online, social media, social branding, who you guys are through your websites. Now, I do know this is true for some businesses, and some businesses are lucky enough that they've been around a long time for them to operate like this. But what would you say to a new business that says they don't want to do any kind of online branding because they only want to work off referrals?
Well, I can tell you that getting as much business as I do off of online would push a lot of people to go online. And I've seen that in my community.
Yeah.
Since I've started, blasting out these social media videos.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of following suit.
Yeah.
And it's helping everyone else out.
Yeah.
Because they don't have to wonder, who is that guy and what does he do? They can now go on their socials and figure out what they do. right?
Nice.
And nothing's staged. A lot of guys, we get a lot of feedback like, oh, how many takes did that take? All of our work is not staged.
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
Yeah. This is
The
what we're
media
doing.
guy shows up and he just films us working.
Yeah.
And that's when you get some of the best clips. Funny stuff happens. You find some cool stuff behind the walls. But the only thing that's, we do 47 takes on is usually me talking in front of the camera because I stumble on my words.
Yeah.
I can talk like this all day, but you throw a camera up and it's all, you get all juddery. And
Of course, man. No, I get that.
that's probably the biggest thing we get is, how many takes did that take?
Yeah.
But I'm not in the business to take 40 takes of us putting up a beam. Like when we're putting in the beam, he's just there on the sidelines shooting the whole time, and we're just doing what we do, right?
Yeah, it's definitely something that I constantly hear, and I understand it for businesses that may have started, in the 90s, in the early 2000s, in the mid 2000s. Guys that have an already established 20-year business where, unlike being online back then, because the internet really just came about early 2000s, 1998, right?
Yeah.
When the internet started and all of this stuff was just popping off. Websites were just popping off to be a thing then.
Yep.
But these guys that were starting contracting businesses and stuff like that back then, what they were actually doing was going door to door. They were banging on doors. They were creating relationships. So it's not like they weren't doing the social aspect of what people are doing now. The only difference is people are taking their phones and they're filming the videos and they're showing the neighbors and they're showing everybody, but at scale. And when you can do that, it speaks to a volume of people that can now hear and see what you're all about.
Well, like what we were just talking about before, right? I could go door to door and I could do 300 houses in 5 hours.
Yeah,
Or I could post one video and I could hit 20,000 people.
exactly. Right?
So, I mean, it just works for you.
Yeah.
Because nobody watches TV anymore. Nobody watches the news.
No.
And if you do, you're probably depressed because there's never anything good on it.
No.
But everyone sits down and picks up their phone and watches Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah.
The video pops up. They watch it. They like it. Click, like, on to the next one.
Yeah.
But we've still reached 20,000, 21,000 people off a single video. So you're getting out there a lot faster and a lot more thoroughly than you would if you went door to door. We still go door to door though. Like we'll still hang out door knockers in neighborhoods that, we know could require some renos and stuff like that. But it's just like Instagram and Facebook is definitely the way to go, and posting those big videos on YouTube so people can watch them. And
yeah, man.
it's pretty cool when you start getting the big dogs out and they're watching your videos.
Of course.
too, right?
It's got to be an awesome feeling. And the one thing I hope people take away from this is understanding like the value of pipeline management. Okay. And what I mean by that is when you're a business, whether you're a contractor, you're a marketing company, you're a barber shop, you're whatever, right? What I mean by pipeline management is, yes, referrals are good, 100%. Those are always going to be your best customers, the easiest ones.
They've already trusted you.
Right? They've already trusted you. They worked with your brother or your niece or whoever else, and they trust you to do that job 100%. They're not getting 2 or 3 quotes. Great. That's one aspect of people. Now you have, let's say, your online presence, your social presence, your website, your trust factor, let's call it, right? Of who you are and what you do. That's another funnel. Then you have just social media as another funnel, right? Coming in. When you add up all these things, you end up getting, 2 jobs from this, 1 job from this, 1 job from this, another referral from this.
Yeah.
And when all of that comes together, you're no more relying or needing to guess where your work is coming from because you're firing on all cylinders. I think the biggest challenge that guys have is that when one cylinder is firing, they solely put all their eggs into one basket, and they are solely focusing that our social media is doing really well. We only got to do social media. And they forget the referrals. They forget the door knocking. They forget the flyers in a really good area where there's a lot of renovations that could be done.
Yep.
Or they're saying, you know what, online ads don't work. We don't need to do online ads. We don't need to do a website. Oh, our website was built 10 years ago. We don't need it redone, right? They forget that if all of these things are firing at the same time, you have such an ability to maximize your potential customer base that why wouldn't you be doing these things?
Yeah.
Right?
I think the biggest thing about the socials is they now know who's coming to the door.
Yeah.
That's a big thing for me. Having the videos out, having myself on camera, having the team there. When everyone shows up,
Yeah.
they already know these people. I introduced them,
Yeah.
but they already know them. They've already seen them on all the videos. They've seen me. So if I show up to quote, they know what I look like. They know who I am. You know, it just makes everyone much more comfortable, right? I mean, if you call someone to come to your house, you never know what you're going to get now. It's 2024. We don't know who's coming.
Yeah.
But if they call me, they know that what I look like, what I drive.
Yeah.
And when I show up, they already know I'm there.
Well,
you know?
Exactly.
They're ready to let me in. They're ready to rock.
Well, it's that trickle effect too, right? Imagine you get a referral, right? What's the first thing you're going to do if you don't know that person? You're going to go over to your computer. You're going to type in Rosa Construction. And if you don't come up with a website that has, you know, your brand or your social media handles don't come up with your branding, who you are, what you do. If you don't think that affects the customer's buying decision, you're just wrong. Right? Because
it does.
It doesn't matter if I got the referral or your wife got the referral or your sister got it. The first thing anybody's going to do is just look it up. And if you're not on there, 9 times out of 10, the smart people, what they do is called competitor bidding. So if I know there's a really good contractor in my area, but he doesn't have an online presence or he has a terrible online presence, what I'm going to do as a new contractor is I'm going to set a keyword up and place an ad anytime somebody looks up that customer's name. What's going to happen is my website's going to show up, and anytime somebody looks up that customer, because he has no online presence, they're going to go directly to my website and they're going to fill out a form on my website, and I'm going to get that lead instead of that guy because he wasn't smart enough to realize that he's leaving money on the table and other people are capitalizing on this guy's name.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
I see it happen all day, every day. And sometimes it sucks to try to tell somebody that, hey, man, I just looked this up and you got like John's Contracting over here bidding on Rosa Construction. We got to do something about this, right? We got to fix this.
Yeah.
So this is not happening anymore. People are going into Rosa when we're looking that up. I have a customer in Edmonton, actually, and they do solar panels. And one of the ways that we get a lot of keywords for them is we bid on all their competitors' business names because they're not bidding on those kind of keywords that we are. And a lot of the leads that we get in are for like customer service for these guys being like, they're not getting the kind of service. They had a sales rep come out and he didn't follow up. And now all these leads are being funneled to a local company because these bigger no-name, you know, competitor companies weren't smart enough to realize that they're losing out on this kind of traction. And it's dramatically helped sort of just get people into their door. Now, it doesn't always work where you're going to turn that person into a customer, but the opportunity for me to get your first name, your last name, your address, your phone number, and the reason why you're looking for that company is sometimes 50% of the job of us as business owners being like, hey, you weren't looking for us specifically, but we have the ability to still offer you what you were looking for, maybe even offer you a little bit better service. Do you want to hear from us? And leave it up to them, right?
Put your foot in the door.
That's it, man. So it's really everything that you're saying about building up this kind of trust with people from by the time they call you and you show up and you are in uniform, trucks are wrapped, they've seen you on social, they know what you look like. By the time you already walk through the door, even without a proposal, you're probably already 80% of the way there.
Yeah.
Right? Like
absolutely.
It's
all about how you present the numbers too, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of guys will, I don't ever send an estimate.
Good.
Ever.
Good.
I'm always one-on-one.
Yeah.
Because when I hand the estimate, I can see the reaction.
Yeah.
And I just bring the computer, you know?
Nice.
What don't you want to do to lower the price? Or what did you want to do that I didn't quote for?
Cool.
Right? So that's why we have a 2-step process. So we know, how to funnel these people and what they want. So I'll take the dream on the initial visit.
Okay.
We'll write the dream down. I'll quote the dream. If the dream's way higher than their budget, I'll just make a quick phone call. You know, let's have a meeting. Let's sit down. I'll let you know kind of where I'm at and what we can do about it.
Nice.
Or do we not do this because we can do it later? I'm huge on saving if we can do it later and not affect the initial reno.
Okay.
Such things as built-in closets. Or you want to do a custom bench, or you want to do a cool coffee table. You know, that stuff we can do after the reno.
Yeah.
But I can't change your floors out after I've just put in a new kitchen.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a
Right?
process to things.
There's a process. And like we talked about before, heated bathroom floors.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know what that's like, and they don't know the comfort levels of it. So they just opt to not have it.
Yeah.
So I'm working on getting some stations from Schluter. You know, I can plug into the wall, and it's
Cool.
just a little 12 by 12 tile piece. And you could touch it and feel the warmth, right? Just to
Nice.
show them this is what it's like.
Yeah.
Because everyone that is getting heated floors, I would say 98% of them have never had heated floors.
Okay.
They either just like it because it's cool,
Yeah.
or they just want it,
Yeah.
or they think, why wouldn't you have it?
Yeah.
And everyone else is kind of, why do I need it? I've never had it before.
Yeah.
You know, or I wear slippers, or I
Yeah.
wear whatever through the house. You know, I don't walk around bare feet. So if you're going to do an extensive reno, having someone with the knowledge to kind of show you what's good for you,
Yeah.
then I'm never an upseller. I'm not trying to upsell you to get more money. I'm just letting you know what's going to work within your budget, because I know you're going to like it after. Once you have
Yeah.
a heated floor, I can guarantee you,
You're gonna
you will
love
never
it.
not do a heated floor, because there's nothing more comfortable than getting out of a hot shower and stepping on hot tiles.
Nice.
You know,
Oh,
you get out
I
and you step
wish.
on cold tiles. Well,
Yeah.
the cold just radiates right through you, and all of a sudden you're cold, standing there trying to dry off as fast as you can so you can get dressed,
Of course.
right? But it's comfort.
Well, that's it, right? And having these options for your customers, just again, like, I think goes to speak to your credibility, who you guys are, what you guys can offer, and really just like says value. Like, one of the things you mentioned though was when you show customers the quotes, you bring the computer, right? So your tools that you guys invest in for your business have the ability to do those changes right there on the spot with the customer.
Exactly.
Is there one like go-to tool that you guys rely on when it comes to quoting or drawings or like any of this stuff, or like renderings?
So we have a designer on our team that'll do all our renderings.
Okay.
So if we need architects, then we obviously have an architectural designer that does those.
Yeah.
Our designer will take those drawings and he'll, make them 3D.
Okay.
It's pretty cool stuff, like what you see on TV.
Nice.
So he'll take you in your old kitchen and walk you through on a computer screen your new kitchen.
Yeah.
Turn on the lights, dim the lights, whatever you want. Turn on the backsplash.
Cool.
You want to illuminate that. Whatever you want.
Nice.
We can present you the dream, and then I can present you the price on the dream. And
Nice.
we've implemented that because it helps not to sell, but to see.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do a reno. I don't want you to, spend 30 grand on a bathroom and you hate it.
Yeah.
Or you hate the tiles that you picked.
Yeah.
Because I've had it happen.
Yeah.
And at that point, there's really nothing I can do. And this is why I have clients choose their own tiles and choose their own vanities and
Yeah.
pick their own toilets.
Because
You
they
know,
pick them.
Because if I picked a toilet and they want an elongated toilet, well, now I bought the toilet and installed the toilet. They don't like the toilet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we have them supply those things. We will
Yeah.
supply them. It just comes with extra steps so they can approve them.
Okay.
Right. But having the rendering of, say, a kitchen, we actually just had a job we're starting next month, and they had like a gray color picked for the island. Seeing it on the renderings, hated the gray. Went for a darker gray because
Okay.
the gray was too light. It kind of looked, kind of meshed into what was already there. So having that darker accent, boom, loved it immediately.
Nice.
Click of a mouse,
Awesome.
dark gray.
How much money does that got to save?
Done.
Right? Like,
Right. Well, imagine, we did the whole kitchen and then they hated the gray.
yeah.
That would suck
Yeah.
for me.
Well, yeah.
And for them, but
Yeah.
more so for me because
Yeah.
now they're not happy with what they got.
yeah.
So to have this design option implemented into our quoting process makes it a lot easier for clients to see what they're getting before
Yeah.
we even step foot in the door with tools.
Yeah, 100%, man. It's I think it's super important, especially as new business, to really invest in like the right tools that are going to help you ultimately save money, right? Like,
And that's what it does, right? Being able to see it saves you money
yeah,
because you're going to like it. And the amount of times I've had a job presented with a design and not changed is zero. Every single time you present a design, something has changed because now you can visually see what's going on,
that's right.
right?
Yeah, man. Tools, when it comes to that, technology, I love. Like anything to do with any kind of tech, like I'm all about. And you would almost think like, why isn't this a staple with a lot of other contractors? I'm probably guessing, is there a high ticket fee with it, or is
It
it?
costs a lot of money.
Yeah,
But if I spend, $7,000 getting the designs done, it saves me a bad review. It
Yeah.
saves me arguments.
Yeah.
It saves me customers that hate what we've done.
yeah,
And it's no fault of mine.
yeah,
But if I can beat that, then
Yeah.
I'll beat it. Right. So that's always the biggest thing. Oh, what'd you spend on that? What'd you spend on that video? What'd
Yeah.
you spend on those designs? What does it matter? I got a happy customer. They're ecstatic about the work that we did because
right.
they've seen what they're getting.
Exactly.
And then they got exactly what they saw, right? So we have a lot of pictures of renderings, you know, before, rendered, and after.
Nice.
And the renderings and the after are identical. Why? Because we can take the cabinetry that we have had designed. They both use the same program. We take that design and implement it into our design.
Cool.
So the cabinets are identical.
Yeah.
You know, the handles are identical.
Everything.
The colors are identical. The countertops, the sink.
That's awesome.
You know, they take the model numbers of the stove and they put that in there. The fridge, like everything is what you see is what you get. And that settles a lot of nerves with clients.
I'm sure, man. And yeah, outside of things like that, is there anything else you invest in your business that you would have to say is like a must-have for maybe a new contractor starting out?
Well, I'd say the scariest thing I invested was Google Ads.
Okay.
As you know, I was a little sticker shocked, but within 3 weeks, we've had more leads than we've had in 4 years.
Okay. And just to confirm, that was because of BrandRocket, or
that was all because of you, Jake?
Okay, nice. Yeah, I know for a lot of contractors, things like advertising on Google can be really, really scary. And especially when, you know, maybe you could touch on this real quick, but like when you go through the process and you end up working with a company and they don't perform, how does that make you feel about going ahead with this same service?
That's funny you bring it up.
With another company.
We just had that same thing. And the only thing I received was phone calls for work.
Okay.
You know, are you guys hiring? No, I'm not hiring. So we try to figure out what's going on. So anyway, we got rid of them. We came back to you, and here we are. But I mean, we've never had a bigger lead than we got 2 weeks into the Google Ads.
Okay.
You know, guy wants to tear his house down and rebuild his house. He popped it on Google. I was #1 on the list, thanks to you. And here we are, getting the guy designed a brand new house. So we're going to go in there and tear down the old one and build a new one.
Nice.
And that was all from putting the trust in Google Ads.
That's it. And BrandRocket.
And BrandRocket.
That's it. Yeah. Right. No, man. No, it's good. No, I appreciate it. I think overall, like, the idea of advertising is scary to a lot of guys, and it's only stories like this that can reaffirm the trust. Now, lo and behold, it doesn't happen for everybody that exact same way. Sometimes maybe it takes 3 weeks. Sometimes it takes a month.
Yeah.
Right? But there's one thing certain. When you partner up with the right company that knows actually what they're doing and has the expertise and has the customer reviews and has all of that stuff behind them, I think that's the difference maker. And even when it comes with a pretty big price tag, the one thing that we always like to explain to customers is return on investment.
And you get what you pay for.
And that's it, right? If somebody's going to charge you $200 a month to run ads and give you a bunch of leads that are going to get you to the front page.
But are they?
They're not, right? And you got to think, right? This is what it is, right? But I think we're running out of time there, Jordan. So I just want to sort of wrap this up by saying thank you guys so much for coming on, being on our first episode here. I can't wait to look at it and see what we end up doing. And for everybody out there, Rosa Construction, Durham region premier general contracting home renovations company. Anything you guys need, home additions, kitchen renovations, basement renovations, full home renovations, war home renovations, whatever it is.
Whatever you want.
You guys better call this guy right here, because I can promise you guys will get the quality of the job you guys need. But Jordan, thank you for doing this with us. And hopefully we'll have you back on and we'll share some more stories, have some good laughs.
Appreciate it.
All right,
Jake.
No worries, man. Have a good one.
You too.
Cheers.